Good evening and welcome to the 5th episode of our video series entitled 100 Commonly Misused Words Used in Wired, Nego and Jam Lenses and Structure. Today we want to look at the part 5 of the 10 in 1 series, and this part 5 takes care of words number 41 to 50. 41, many, much, lots of, a lot of. 42, some, any. Little, a little. Few, a few. A lot, disembark. Status, statue, status. Gray, grey. Valuable, invaluable. Merge, match. Courteous, cautious. Share, share. Right, like our previous episodes in this video series, we have been considering so many words, that are highly conflicting in usage. In other words, words that are commonly misused. You would agree with me that words like many and much are highly conflicting, in usage. Same thing goes to words like lots of and a lot of, alright? Some, any, and little, and a few. Okay, let's just talk about something like many and much, for example. Most of the time, someone would pick a word like many, alright, in place of much. Yes, we've had a lot of instances like that where someone will say the people that came to school are not much, alright? So that is already a conflict in usage, alright? So do we use much for people, or for countable words or countable nouns, alright? Now, the conflict here is many is used for countable while much is used for what? Uncountable. So you cannot say the people that came to school today are not much, it is wrong because people are countable nouns, alright? So you cannot use much for countable. Therefore, the right thing to say is the people that came to school are not many, alright? Or many people did not come to school today. So you cannot say much people did not come to school. Much people are not in church today, or much people are not in the market. So things like that, alright? So anything that is countable goes with many. Alright, so something of that nature, is what happens to the rest of the words that we want to examine today. Alright? Now, let's speak on the first one, Let's analyze the first set of words that we have here, which are many, much, lots of, and a lot of. Alright? Good. Now, these elements are quantifiers. That means they are used to say that something is in abundance. Now, for these 4 different quantifiers, there are so many things about them that you must understand very clearly if you hope to handle them intelligently under the examination conditions. And such things include the fact that some of these quantifiers are formal, they can be used in formal expressions, and some of them are what? Informal, and some are less informal than others. Another thing is that some of them can be used with countable nouns while others cannot be used with countable nouns. And then some of them can be used in positive expressions while some of them cannot be used in positive expressions. To show these different characteristics, alright, I'm going to put up a table right now, to illustrate the different characteristics that I've just mentioned about them. Now, here we go. The first thing we want to establish with this quantifier, is to understand that many/much, can appear in formal expression, whereas lots of and a lot of, are used in informal expression. Now, apart from the fact that lots of and a lot of are the informal varieties of many and much, these words again, that is lots of and a lot of, one of them, is more informal than the other. and that one is what? Lots of. All right, so we can again establish that lots of. Now the next thing we want to talk about is noun count. All right, many can only be used with countable nouns, that is things that you can count. All right, while much is used with uncountable nouns, things that you cannot count. Whereas many and much agree differently with countable and uncountable nouns, lots of and a lot of, okay, do not vary. All right, they can be used indiscriminately for what's countable and uncountable. There's no differentiation, okay, between the use of lots of and a lot of countable and uncountable nouns. The third thing that we want to establish with these quantifiers, okay, is the type of expressions in which they can be used. We are talking about types of expression. We want to understand whether these quantifiers, okay, can be used in negative expressions or whether they can be used in affirmative expression, in other words, positive expressions, and or whether they can be used in what? Interrogative forms. Now, when we talk about many / much, we must understand that these quantifiers can only be used in interrogative expressions as well as in negative expressions. Whereas lots of and a lot of can be used in negative expressions, in affirmative expression, that is positive expression, and at the same time used in interrogative forms. All right. In general, let's look at what we have said so far. We have been able to establish that many, much, lots of / a lot of are all quantifiers which are used to say that something is in abundance. In other words, to say that something is more than necessary. Then we've been able to establish as well that many / much are used in formal expressions, while lots of / a lot of are used in informal expressions. That is to say, lots of / a lot of are the informal varieties of many / much. Then we've established as well that whereas lots of / a lot of are both informal, lots of is more informal than a lot of. If you are making a choice of lots of / a lot of in your expressions and you still wish to sound a little bit formal, then you are going to opt for a lot of. Then the second thing we have established is that many is used with countable nouns while much is used with uncountable nouns. However, lots of / a lot of can be used indiscriminately, that is, without any discrimination for both countable and uncountable nouns. Then the third thing we have established is that many / much may only be used in questions and negatives, whereas lots of / a lot of can be used in negatives, in affirmatives, and in questions. So with this short explanation, we now want to proceed, okay, and take a look at how these quantifiers can be used in expressions. Now, here are a few sentences, okay, that involve the use of these quantifiers, many, much, lots of / a lot of. The first one says, I have a lot of books in my bag. All right, this expression is number one, affirmative, that is positive, and then number two, informal. All right, going by the table that we tried to create in the previous section. So you are going to say that this expression is what? Informal. Okay, and affirmative, that is positive. Then if I say I have lots of books in my bag, then this is a more informal expression, okay, more informal expression. So what am I trying to say? These two expressions are the same in that they are affirmative, that is positive. So we can use lots of and a lot of in expressions like this. Then number three, I don't have a lot of time. This is a negative, all right? Remember we said that lots of and a lot of can as well be used in what? Negative expression. So here you can simply say what? Negative, all right? Then for number four, we say, Did you spend a lot of money yesterday? So in this expression, we can see that it is what this expression is a question. So these four sentences have what illustrated what we said about lots of slash a lot of, that they can be used in what positive expressions, and they can be used in questions, and they can be used in negative. Let's now talk about the use of many slash much in the rest examples that we have here. Number 5, are there many books in your bag? Now this is a question, all right? If you look at it very well, you discover that this expression is about books, and books are what? Countable. Therefore, you are going to use many and not much. So you cannot say things like, are there much books? No, this will be a wrong expression. To be wrong to say, are there much books in your bag? No. Rather, you say, are there many books in your bag, because books are countable. Then, number 6, there aren't many books in my bag. This is a negative. Alright, this is what? A negative. So we said that many slash much can be used in a negative expression. Number 7, I haven't got much money to buy books. Alright, now this is another case of a negative expression, but this time with the use of what? Much. And we are using much here because we are talking about money. Although money can be counted in terms of value, it cannot be counted in terms of quantity. Therefore, it will attract the quantifier much and not many. You cannot say, I haven't got many money. No, it is much money. So this is how to use these quantifiers in expressions. The next thing we want to talk about is their appearance in past questions. Jump 1983. There is not that sense in what that politician has just said. A, many. B, plenty. C, lot of. D, much. E, big. If you go by our explanation, okay, in this video, you discover that the correct answer to this question is much. The reason is that if you look at the question, it is a negative expression. And as such, it can successfully go with our explanation on the use of many slash much. But think about big and plenty. If you should use big and plenty, this expression is going to sound colloquial to say there's not big sense, there's not plenty sense. So these two options just cannot go there. As for option C, this expression, lot of, cannot stand in this form. Okay, so if you are going to use lots of, all right, without the article a, then it must be a lot of, all right, and that is not the case here. But if you want to use it without the article a, then it's going to be what? Lots of. So you can see that this expression is not what used properly here. And finally, since sense is uncountable, we cannot say many sense. So we are going to say much sense.